Last week, we started our series on horizon destinations. And I shared that this is really what I used to talk about as a 10-year goal. And I shared last week that there were some limitations with that. It created some barriers and obstacles. And so I've really been thinking deeply about, well, what is this really and what is a better description? So, horizon destinations. I also shared that one of the things that people ask me when I start talking about a horizon destination, which is anywhere between 3 and 10 years from now, people look at me and go, how would I even do that? I don't understand where to begin. So let's talk for a minute about thinking that far into the future. Life is busy. As I talk to people, it really doesn't matter the season of life that we are in, whether we have kids, don't have kids, we work from home, we work somewhere else, we're a business owner, we're an employee. We are all busy. Now, exactly what constitutes our busy does vary, and it certainly does vary by season and the different choices we've made in our life. And yet, we're all busy. So, what the busyness does, or what we tend to do, is we're really focused on getting done and accomplishing what needs to be done in the immediate future. And this is functional and it's real. This is part of the reason that it's difficult for us to pause and go that far out into the future to really start thinking about a horizon destination 3 to 10 years from today. So, here are a couple of tips to get you started. The first one is if you have kids, kids I have found are a fantastic way to set points in the future that you can wrap your head around. It could be when your child starts school. Maybe they graduate from high school. They're old enough to be on some form of a travel team, or maybe they are out of college and they're moving on. Those are great points. So if you have kids, you can start with something that you envision 3 years or more into the future, or that is a possibility. And you start thinking, what would you like your life to look like and feel like at that point in time? So that's the first one. And I find that's honestly, for many people with kids, the simplest one because there are some natural milestones that we recognize with our kids. It doesn't require quite as much imagination. If you don't have kids, or maybe your kids have already left, we can use milestones naturally created by our career. One of the largest ones is retirement. If you are younger, maybe you're just getting out of college or whatever training you've gone into for your profession, it might be when you start your first full time job in whatever profession or field that you're pursuing. Those are a couple of very easy ways for us to put ourselves into the future with a bit of a structure that will help us begin to use our imagination, our curiosity, and our creativity to start filling in details. Now, I know for me, when I started this journey, it was around the concept of an early retirement, of when I was going to leave my profession and what was I going to do at that time. So you can see there was an anchor point there. There was something I could wrap my head around. So, what do you do if you can't think of an anchor point that really seems to have meaning? Remember, this horizon destination for you functions like a magnet. It is pulling you towards the future. That requires that you're excited about it. You may not have all the answers. In fact, you most likely won't have all the answers. And yet, as you start playing with it, this is exciting. This makes you like feel good that you're moving in that direction. So your horizon destination needs to feel good. You need to be excited about it. All right, so don't panic. If right now you're like, I don't feel so excited, I'm feeling maybe a little anxiety, that's okay. Just stick with me for a little bit. So, anchor points are one of the easiest ways to begin thinking into a horizon destination. Here are a couple of other ways to begin. Really look at what your life is today, what your average day looks like, how you spend your time, who you are spending your time with, how you're spending your money. When you look across your current life, what do you want more of? What do you want more of? This is a great way to start thinking about that horizon destination because there are clues in our current life. So, what do we want more of? For me, my short answer is I want more travel. Now, over time, I've really given it more thought and I've refined it. But to begin with, I want more travel. So when you are looking at your current life, what do you want more of? Next question. Considering your current life today, what do you want less of? For me, again, I want a little less work. Honestly, what I'm looking for is more margin and white space. I would like greater flexibility. And right now, I don't have as much as I would like. I would like to have the space in my calendar that when a friend calls and says, let's go grab coffee, I'm like, oh, I'm in. Or some other friends that I tend to meet at the zoo. We meet at the Detroit Zoo. We go for a walk. Now, we will go and see some of the animals, yet it's a great place to walk and we talk and we catch up. So when when a friend calls and says, hey, have you got time for the zoo? I really desire the flexibility to say yes. So, what do I want less of in my life right now? I want a little less structure, a little less scheduled time. So, those are two great places to begin. What do I want more of that is currently in my life? What would I like less of that is currently in my life? This begins us starting to think about that horizon destination. Now, don't get too hung up exactly the time frame. Our horizon destination we want to be aiming for between 3 and 10 years into the future. Where we are along that continuum honestly doesn't matter. It's what feels right to you. That's the correct answer. Look for anchor points, points in time that your life is going to have some change in it. And then start looking at your current life. What are the clues? What do you want more of? What do you want less of? And here's one last thing to ponder when you're thinking about setting your horizon destination. Things that interest you, the things that catch your attention. Now, it could be very possible that right now you don't have the time or bandwidth to explore those things. But what are those things that kind of resurface? That you have that passing thought. It would be really cool if I'd like to try this. Oh my gosh, that is so not realistic right now. Start paying attention to those. Those, again, are clues. And remember, right now we are exploring. We're wandering a bit. And this is very intentional wandering and exploring. We are seeking to learn more to start giving us some guidance when we think into the future. This should be fun. Talk to friends about it. I find sometimes that the questions or the observations that my friends reflect back to me or ask me are, well, they're mind blowing because I'm like, oh my gosh, you're right. I never really thought of that. So, who are your friends that you can talk to about this? Maybe a partner, a spouse? What do you want more of? What do you want less of? What are the things that flit through your mind? Could be cool. I would like to try. I would like to go. These are the beginning steps for us to begin thinking about setting a horizon destination. So have some fun with this. Talk with friends, talk with your family members, have some conversations, and ask other people, what would your horizon destination be? What do you want more of, less of in your life? What are you just curious about? That's it for this week. Bye for now.